In the heart of a bustling Atlanta courtroom, rookie officer Jake "Hotshot" Harper struts in, his badge gleaming, his ego bigger than the city skyline. Fresh out of the academy, he's convinced he's untouchable, a lawman destined to dominate. When he locks eyes with Judge Amara Winston, a black woman whose authority commands respect, sparks fly, but not the good kind. Jake's arrogance blinds him, and he dares to challenge her rulings, mocking her power in front of a packed courtroom. What unfolds next is a jaw-dropping clash of wills that spirals into a legal and personal firestorm, exposing secrets, shattering reputations, and leaving everyone stunned. Will Jake's reckless defiance destroy him, or will Judge Winston's unyielding strength rewrite his fate? Buckle up, this explosive showdown will keep you glued. Subscribe now for gripping stories that hit hard and keep you hooked. In the sweltering summer heat of Atlanta, Georgia, the Fulton County Courthouse stood like a fortress of justice, its marble halls echoing with the weight of countless stories. On this particular morning in July 2025, the air buzzed with anticipation. Courtroom 3B was packed, the wooden benches creaking under the weight of spectators, reporters, and nervous defendants. At the center of it all was Judge Amara Winston, a 42-year-old black woman whose presence commanded the room. Her sharp eyes scanned the docket, her gavel resting like a scepter. Known for her fairness and unyielding adherence to the law, Amara had earned her reputation as one of Atlanta's most respected judges. Her journey to the bench wasn't easy, born to a single mother in a struggling neighborhood. She'd clawed her way through law school, battling prejudice and doubt to become a symbol of integrity. Enter Officer Jake Harper, a 25-year-old rookie, with a chip on his shoulder and a swagger that screamed trouble. Fresh from the police academy, Jake was the kind of cop who thought his badge made him invincible. With his buzzed blonde hair, chiseled jaw, and a smirk that never quit, he'd already earned the nickname Hotshot among his precinct peers. Jake grew up in a small, mostly white town outside Atlanta, where his father, a retired deputy, filled his head with tales of cops as heroes. To Jake, the law was simple, his way or no way. Today, he was in court to testify in a high-profile assault case, one that had the city's attention due to its racial undertones. White businessman accused of attacking a black delivery driver. As Jake took the witness stand, his eyes flicked toward Judge Winston. He'd heard rumors about her, whispers from older cops who called her too soft or worse behind closed doors. To Jake, she was just another hurdle to his inevitable rise. The case was straightforward. The businessman, Richard Caldwell, claimed self-defense, but the evidence, security footage, witness statements, pointed to an unprovoked attack. Jake's role was simple: recount his arrest of Caldwell and present the facts. But Jake had other plans. He saw this as his moment to shine, to show the courtroom he was more than just a rookie. When the prosecutor called Jake to testify, he leaned into the microphone, his voice dripping with confidence. He described the arrest in vivid detail, embellishing his role, painting himself as the hero who'd single-handedly subdued a dangerous suspect. The courtroom stirred, sensing his theatrics. Amara's brow furrowed, but she let him continue. Then came the cross-examination. The defense attorney, a seasoned lawyer named Ellen Shapiro, pressed Jake on inconsistencies in his report. Why did his body cam footage cut off mid-arrest? Why did his written statement mention a weapon that no one else saw? Jake bristled, his face reddening. Instead of answering directly, he shot back. Maybe you should ask the judge why she's letting this guy walk free. A gasp rippled through the courtroom. Amara's gavel cracked like thunder. Officer Harper, you will address this court with respect, she said, her voice calm but cutting. Jake smirked, undeterred. With all due respect, Your Honor, I'm just telling it like it is. This guy's guilty, and you're wasting everyone's time. The room froze. Reporters scribbled furiously. Spectators whispered. Amara's eyes narrowed, but her composure held. "Step down, officer. We'll address your conduct later." Jake sauntered off the stand, his smirk intact, unaware he'd just lit the fuse to a legal explosion. By the next day, Jake's outburst was all over the news. Local stations ran headlines like "Rookie Cop Defies Black Judge" and "Courtroom Chaos in Atlanta." Social media erupted, with hashtag Hotshot Harper trending on X. Some praised Jake's boldness, while others condemned his disrespect. Pointing to racial undertones in his challenge to Amara, the city's racial tensions, already simmering, boiled over. Protests formed outside the courthouse, with activists demanding accountability for Jake's behavior. Meanwhile, Jake reveled in the attention, posting cryptic messages on X like, "Just doing my job. Some people can't handle the truth." Back. In the courthouse, Amara faced pressure from all sides. Her colleagues urged her to throw the book at Jake for contempt, but she knew a harsh ruling could inflame the situation further. She also knew Jake's outburst wasn't just about her. It was a symptom of a deeper divide in the city, one she'd spent her career trying to bridge. Amara had seen too many young men like Jake cocky, untested, blind to the consequences of their actions. She decided to summon him to her chambers for a private hearing, a rare move that raised eyebrows. When Jake walked into Amara's chambers, he expected a slap on the wrist. Instead, he found himself face to face with a judge who saw right through him. "Officer Harper," Amara began, "you think you're above this court, above me. But let me be clear, your badge doesn't give you a free pass to disrespect the law." Jake shifted uncomfortably, his smirk fading. Amara continued, "I could hold you in contempt, but I'm giving you a chance to explain yourself." "Why do you think you can act this way?" Jake, caught off guard, stammered. He mumbled something about doing his duty, but Amara pressed him. "Duty doesn't mean undermining justice. Duty means accountability, especially when you're wrong." For the first time, Jake felt the weight of her words. But instead of backing down, he doubled down, accusing Amara of bias against cops. "Maybe you're just mad because I'm calling it like I see it," he said, his voice rising. Amara didn't flinch. "You're dismissed, officer. We'll reconvene in court tomorrow." That night, Jake's bravado masked a growing unease. His precinct captain, a gruff veteran named Tom Delgado, pulled him aside. "You're digging your own grave, kid," Tom warned. "Judge Winston's no pushover, and you just made her your enemy." Jake shrugged it off, but Tom's words lingered. Meanwhile, Amara stayed late in her office, reviewing Jake's personnel file. What she found stunned her. Jake had a history of minor infractions, excessive force complaints, unreported incidents that his superiors had swept under the rug. Amara realized this wasn't just about one outburst. Jake's behavior pointed to a pattern, one the department had ignored. The next morning, Courtroom 3B was a circus. Cameras lined the walls, and the gallery was packed with activists, reporters, and curious locals. Jake's contempt hearing was the main event. Amara took the bench, her expression unreadable. She called Jake to the stand and laid out his actions: disrupting the court, disrespecting her authority, and undermining the judicial process. "Officer Harper," she said, "your conduct suggests you believe you're above the law. This court disagrees." She sentenced him to 30 days in jail for contempt, a ruling that sent shockwaves through the room. The twist came moments later. Amara announced she was ordering an independent investigation into Jake's precinct, citing evidence of systemic issues in his personnel file. The courtroom erupted. Jake's face paled as he was led away in handcuffs, his swagger gone. Reporters rushed to file stories, and X exploded with reactions. Some called Amara a hero. Others accused her of overreach. The investigation, Amara explained, wasn't just about Jake, it was about a department that had enabled his behavior for too long. Asterisk, while Jake sat in a cell, the city grappled with the fallout. The investigation uncovered a web of misconduct. Officers protecting each other, falsified reports, and a culture that rewarded aggression over accountability. Jake's father, now a vocal supporter of his son, organized rallies, claiming Amara was targeting cops to advance her career. But Amara's supporters fought back, pointing to her record of fairness. The delivery driver from the original case, Marcus Tate, became an unlikely voice in the debate, speaking out about the need for reform. "I don't hate cops," Marcus said in a viral X post. "I just want them to do right." Asterisk, weeks later, Jake was released, a changed man, or so he claimed. Facing suspension from the force, he reached out to Amara, requesting a meeting. Against her better judgment, she agreed. In her chambers, Jake apologized, his voice low. "I was wrong," he said. "I thought I knew everything, but I didn't know nothing." Amara listened, skeptical but open. She saw a flicker of sincerity. But new change wasn't instant. "Words are cheap, officer," she said. "Prove it with actions." Asterisk, the final twist came months later. The investigation led to sweeping reforms in the Atlanta Police Department, including mandatory de-escalation training and stricter oversight. Jake, reinstated but humbled, enrolled in community outreach programs, working with youth in Marcus's neighborhood. Amara, meanwhile, faced a new challenge, a gubernatorial appointment to a federal bench, a move that would elevate her influence, but draw her into a bigger spotlight. As she weighed her decision, she reflected on Jake's case, not as a victory, but as a reminder that justice was a marathon, not a sprint. Asterisk, the city watched, stunned by how one rookie's arrogance had sparked a chain reaction. Jake's journey from hotshot to humbled officer, and Amara's unwavering stand, became a story of redemption, accountability, and the power of second chances. It wasn't perfect, but it was progress. Closing 50 words. Thanks for joining this wild ride. What did you think of Jake and Amara's clash? Drop a comment below and let us know where you're watching from: New York, California, Texas, or beyond. Hit that subscribe button for more gripping stories that spark debate and inspire change.